Because he is dead.
Well, but then he got undead.
But then he died again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jesus is dead to me.
Well, Jesus is dead.
Right.
And so he's also dead to everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not making any hateful comments or anything.
No.
You're just stating facts.
Yeah, stating facts. It's like...
Jesus is dead to me.
I saw this guy wearing a t-shirt that said, Kurt Cobain is dead to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Because,
Because he's really dead.
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a sweet pun, but I'm an asshole, so... Podcast! This is a podcast! Stephen Marks, Unnamed Podcast, is live right now, but not live. Not live. Yeah.
I just love that.
Me too. I like the rawness. I think my sick voice on that was actually kind of good.
It was just spot on.
Yeah. The levels are kind of shitty, so that makes it sound funny. I don't know. It's a learning process.
Definitely.
And until we get the right one, I'm going to have to talk about it every
out,
time I play it.
Maybe that'll be our homework assignment for this week. So that next week we'll come back with, some good intros and outros.
Yeah. Well,
and piss break songs.
Yeah. No, and I think that's a good idea. When I re-recorded that for the second, one that you didn't like as much, it was funny because my neighbor, his driveway goes right next to the windows
he's
here.
a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. But sometimes I wonder what he thinks is going on over here, because I'll kind of hear
your
him.
Windows down still.
Well, I mean they're single pane. You can hear everything
Sound
through
system.
them. I hear him when he walks up his driveway. I hear, his footfall makes a perfectly audible sound. So I can only imagine when I'm in here looking at porn and stuff like that, he hears it through whatever.
Beating it hard.
Just more not me. I'm not all yeah. I'm thinking more of the audio.
Well, who doesn't like to watch porn at full blast?
Not full blast, but even our conversation. If he was standing in there, he would hear it.
If he's smoking a cigarette outside, then he
right.
Could probably hear us.
Yeah, and very often he does. So I think it would be funny. Okay. So I heard him kind of walking around while I was re-recording that one, and I was just like, well, fuck it, whatever. He knows he's lived next to me for a couple of years.
He knows you're weird as fuck.
Yeah, he knows I'm a little weird. So I'm just here just screaming, just Lay Podcast! And...
that was loud. Fucking
sorry. So
headphones.
Yeah, so I'm doing that with my sick voice and coughing up a lung in between, and then of course he can't hear the music because it's piped through, so I'm just shouting "Lay Podcast" and just this stupid shit. I don't know. I can only imagine.
Well, it's a good thing we have no shame, because obviously we're talking about our thoughts and feelings and overall stupid opinions about shit on this podcast.
Sure.
No shame. It's the way to live. Cheers.
Cheers.
Speaking of no shame, we just got back from stuffing our faces with amazing Mexican food.
Well, I don't know about amazing, but it was...
Dude, it was pretty fucking
amazing.
Spot. Does it get better than that? Seriously. I don't think fucking is better than that,
No. I mean, yes, but no.
El Pinto?
That's the thing about... Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Mexican food is shitty Mexican food can taste really good.
Yeah. Because you're not, Mexican food.
It's basically
when you say shitty Mexican food, it's not the food that's shitty, but it's the establishment that's kind of shitty and run down, and the people that work there.
Exactly. Because I mean, it's chicken, and it's it's all very simple.
But it needs to be sauced correctly, and the right amount of onions.
It's the time, you put, it's cooked slowly with all the ingredients, and they come together in proportions and things. It's kind of one of those things where, anybody can do it right.
If they're patient.
If they just, it's more intuitive, I feel, but yeah, you can pay a lot more money and not
and not be
and
satisfied
essentially,
at all.
yeah, and essentially all you're getting is like a fancier plate.
Yeah, an
You know?
environment. Whereas, fuck it, I prefer the
Dude.
shitty paint job
Oh.
and like the shitty Mickey Mouse like drawn on the
Right.
window.
Well, and there was the Angry Turds dispenser. So we walk into this place and it's got like the little press-on tattoos or whatever, and one's like Angry Turds, and it just has all these Angry Bird things, but they're
the
turds,
spin-off.
and you know, like a mustache dispenser. They turned the exhaust hood into like a, what are they called? Like the Cairns, like I don't know. They've got all the saint candles.
The Jesus candles,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Jesus candles. Like there's a little shrine in their exhaust hood, which I thought was great. And there's a porthole because the place was probably once like a Long John Silver's or some shit like that. So there's like a
I thought
brass.
it was a laundromat or something.
No, there's like a brass porthole glued like screwed into the wall or whatever. It makes no sense at all. And the menu, the color. There's like no color correction gone on at all, or it's like it looks like it had been outside or something like that.
All the images are
the
color
awful.
sucks.
Like they have pictures of the food, and I'm just like, oh god, I hope the food doesn't look like that because that picture is fucked and that looks gross. You know.
Can we name drop this place? Because that's how good they are, dude.
Yeah, it's Filiberto's.
Filiberto's.
Yeah,
Off of
I
San
don't know.
Mateo
I'm
and
pretty sure it's
Gibson.
like it's one of those places that probably gets closed down every now and then for like health code violations and all that stuff.
But then like the whatever inspector goes away for a while. They get a new inspector. It's like, all right, open the doors up again, baby.
or you know, like I want to say that like a bunch of them were closed because of, you know, some horrible reason, and then they reopened. So
Dude,
I
Mexicans
want to say
are clean.
I want to say something about like semen in the food or something.
I
But
don't know about semen. I think they were probably selling blow, you know, and they got busted.
no,
for
it was
that.
something to do with the food itself.
Dude, did you see that truck making deliveries? That was a fucking Denali. Like,
Wait, there's a truck that makes deliveries?
you didn't see the truck that was making deliveries? As we were
Oh
pulling
yeah,
out?
no, I just figured those were some like hood dudes. I didn't think they were like connected.
They were dropping
necessarily.
shit off, man. It's this fucking giant, you know, GMC Denali or Yukon or whatever,
Yeah,
dropping off
all
tortillas.
black. And
Yeah,
it was like
and
murdered
rims.
out. Yeah, it was all murdered out.
Yeah, dude, you know they're selling blow on the side. Like,
Well, yeah.
well,
I
we
mean,
transport some of the meat back from Mexico
know,
and then
man.
take down some cash and bring back some blow. Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
I
stuff
mean-
it in the pig.
I don't know what. You know, it's kind of one of those things. I don't want to see how the sausage is made. I just want to enjoy it.
Oh.
You know, and that's the thing is I generally am kind of a food snob, but when it comes to like late night stuff in your face with some shitty quality, well, not necessarily. I don't know, just
It's still quality.
you know,
but-
like I'll go to Cesar's, you know, but it's not something I would do during the day when I have other options. But you know, when I'm feeling a craving for it, I'm just like, fuck it.
And the people are friendly, dude. You
Like-
know, the Mexican
yeah.
people are just like, yeah.
I mean, having like a certain standard is good, but if you have to if you have to stick to that, then you're just, you know, you're imposing limits on yourself that suck.
I think you need the contrast. You know, you have
Yeah.
the really good fine dining and quality ingredients, all the
Exactly.
organic shit, and then
But you
got
got to be able to slum it,
Yeah,
you know, and that's the
exactly.
thing is like I'm gonna choose when and where I slum it. You know, slumming it there and getting some questionable Mexican food is worth it to me.
Than
Whereas
getting some
like going to like
McDonald's
McDonald's, yeah, is never going to be worth it to me because it's just absolute bullshit. Like it is not a better version of anything. Whereas this stuff is pretty fucking good.
Fuck yeah,
It's tasty. I'll say that. It's bad for me and it's probably very low quality,
Steve, it's good for
but
you.
I like it.
It's good for your soul
It's soul food.
and your man boobs.
Eat.
Yeah.
That hurts my feelings.
Hey, I didn't. You love handles, whatever.
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm trying to get into better shape, and it's working out pretty well. But then I go and do something like that, and then I'm like,
You should have no shame. My dad's like, I was going to the gym, and he's like, oh well, we just ordered a bunch of Dion's. You should just not go to the gym. And I'm like, Dad, my man boobs say yes, but my mind says no.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because that like whenever I don't know, it's weird because whenever I'm actively trying to be healthy, I feel like that's when it's hardest because people are like giving you
Oh, yeah,
food
totally.
or what, you know, it's like all these opportunities where you're just
Mijo,
like
I made some tortillas.
yeah, and then you're just like okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, but whenever I'm just I don't know. There's just times to do it and times not to. I don't know.
See, I'm part of the resolutioners, as they call them, the gym culture.
What is that?
I
Like
joined
where
the
you join
gym
it
on
for
the
New
first,
Year's?
on the
Oh, yeah.
on the first, yeah. So whatever.
Was it an actual resolution or
No,
coincidence?
it wasn't really a resolution. Okay, I joined like on the third, all right.
Right.
But I just want to identify myself with that crowd, and I just feel like I joined at that time, so I should be labeled in that category.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a resolution at all. Like, yeah, I want to, I haven't been smoking as much. I probably have smoked like 5 or 6 cigarettes this year, which is, an improvement.
I mean, I think considering yeah.
Woo!
No, I think 5 cigarettes in a month, for someone who used to smoke pretty much
Oh yeah.
several times a day,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's really good.
No, I'm feeling good about it.
And you should.
I had one the other day and it just grossed the fuck out of me out.
Good.
So I'm trying not to do that
Good.
anymore. So, I'm this resolution or whatever, but I'm following this really good like workout routine, and I joined Define Fitness, so I'm feeling good, I could like see myself improving and like lifting weights and shit like that. But I'm trying to eat healthy because, what's the point of working out if you can't eat healthy?
Right.
But I get these fucking food cravings, man, that I feel this is what a junkie goes through. Like, I go to my parents' house. My parents don't give a shit what they eat. So I'm like, yeah, I want to eat the shit out of those fucking fried chicken and some pizza and some of this and some of that. And I feel like I'm a goddamn drug addict, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you just have these cravings. You're like, no, I'll just eat an apple instead. But you're like, no, dude. And then, you know what? I've given in a couple times. You're like, yeah, I want to eat the shit out of this DiGiorno pizza. So I'm like, no, don't do it. I had this pizza in the oven, in the freezer for like 3 weeks. I finally gave in, and I cooked it. I ate like 3 slices, and I'm like, the whole idea of eating the pizza was better than the actual pizza itself.
Yeah.
And I cooked it to perfection.
Yeah, no,
crispy
it always
crust.
is with food though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that with pasta
Mm-hmm.
and cheese. Like,
love
I'm just
cheese.
like, I know.
Dude, goat cheese. Oh
right?
my god.
Right? And that's my fucking problem is I'll eat so healthy and I'll be like clean and eating really great.
Apples and salads and
just
fruit
and just
and
a
nuts
good
and
balance, like just eating amazing. Like
Yeah.
I followed this kind of this Mike Dolce.
Oh yeah,
guy.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, he basically is like a nutrition kind of coach for a bunch of like UFC fighters and shit like that. And he's got a meal plan and just kind of like guides to eating where you can't eat unhealthy with him, and
Nice.
he's just like, look, this is just what you do.
Yeah.
And if you were to follow that, it'd be great. But I'm like, oh man, I gotta get some of that cheese. That goat cheese is so good. Or I've got this like cave
I need that
aged
Munster.
yeah,
I need that
well, I've got this
Pepper
like
Jack.
cave aged stuff that was like a gift, and I'm like, oh, it's so good, and I love it so much. So I'll eat really nice, and then I'll get a cheese craving, and
then just plow it, bro.
yeah, and I just can't stop myself. And like a big thing is eating till you're satisfied, not till you're full. Well, with cheese and stuff, I'm never satisfied until I'm like practically sick,
So
know?
it's coming out of your ears.
Yeah, like I could eat a whole fucking log, whatever.
A roll of cheese,
roll,
man. I want a
like a
fucking
whole
disc.
goat, like a whole well, like the goat cheese or like the extruded like tube, just like and I could eat an entire one of those.
Dude, with some
on
Trader
crackers.
Joe's, like pita crackers?
Yes,
My
the
God.
dude, the table water crackers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have them
whatever.
all, man.
I
have them all.
I get those and some goat cheese, and I'll eat the whole thing because I just can't stop myself. I'm just like, God, like it's seriously a problem.
Dude, that's the same thing that heroin addicts go through.
I don't know. I think they probably go through a little bit more. I've never,
Me neither, but
I haven't gone through like the lengths that they would go through to get some junk.
I'll suck your dick for some cheese, bro.
Yeah. Is that goat cheese over there? Give you a handy if you give me a little bite of that. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll give you a little sample on a cracker for a hand job.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
See, but I was raised on shitty food, so I do get the McDonald's cravings, and I'm like I'm walking down the street or whatever, walking on Central, and I get a whiff of that shitty food, man, and that grease just brings me to that special place, and like we were talking about in the last two podcasts ago, that scent brings you back to those memories,
Yeah.
and like it's just so powerful, dude. That's total addiction coming at you right
well,
now.
and it's interesting though. I feel lucky though that I can remember the moment when I just stopped liking McDonald's food. Like I was eating my chicken nuggets in the McDonald's play place, and I just remember like biting into it and it tasted like acidy kind of, and I was just like, and it wasn't like the first time I had tasted that, and I was just like, why do they taste like this? And now I know it's like the ammonia
there
or
was
whatever.
always a treat for us, as a kid.
Well, yeah, and it was always something like that for us too. But it was just kind of like I just remember thinking like I don't like this, and I've never
gone
been,
back.
Yeah, I've never been into it since. I mean, I'll eat like Blake's, and if I have to, or like I'll even eat at like Wendy's or something if like that's the only place. I don't prefer it. I don't seek it out. I don't crave it. But if like I was on a road trip or something and everybody's like, we're stopping at Wendy's, I'm not going to be that dick who's just like, actually, I don't.
Can we stop by Whole Foods real quick?
Yeah, can we? Like, I mean, if there was one in the parking lot, I'd probably be like, do you guys mind if I just go over there and grab something?
Fuck 'em.
But if they were like, really, dude, then I'd be like, okay, I'll get a fucking Frosty and a junior bacon cheeseburger or whatever and fucking shut the fuck up. But, I feel lucky because I think just about everybody I talk to is like, yeah, dude, even though I like to eat well, I crave fast food so much.
Dude,
and I feel lucky that I don't.
Maybe just like an American thing or something. Like, I don't know.
That
cultures.
But that food is like scientifically designed to be desirable to your brain.
The comfort.
Yeah, well, it triggers. It's got all the salty. It's got like all these things that your brain craves.
Yeah. Releases the reward, I don't know if it's endorphins, but dopamine or
yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly. I've heard it a million times, but I've forgotten. But yeah, it's scientifically crafted to be, well,
engineered.
It's engineered to be cheap and addictive.
Yeah, man.
And it is.
Fuck.
And I feel
but I hate it too.
Lucky that I'm not.
But as soon as I eat it, I get that the eater's remorse, if there exists such a thing.
Oh, there's definitely such a thing. After I pig out on some like pasta, I'm just like,
See, but at least if I make pasta at my house or whatever, then I know that I at least made it, and I try to throw in like some fruit or some vegetables in there, some fucking.
You put fruit in your pasta?
Okay, that came out wrong. I'll slice up some cantaloupe and put it as a side dish, all right? Get off my nuts.
You just make a cantaloupe bowl for your pasta.
Exactly.
Fill the cantaloupe with pasta.
Dude, that sounds like a great fucking recipe, actually.
Sounds awful. I hate cantaloupe.
You have no taste.
Yeah, maybe. All those cheap-ass melons. Fuck that. No, but I forget what I was going to say.
No, but I totally agree that this food is fucking, just engineered to make us, go back and keep us being these consumers, buying that shit over and over again.
Oh, yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. The pasta.
I love pasta.
I love pasta, too, but you're saying, you made a distinction where at least if you make it at home. I never order pasta at a restaurant. Do you?
No. Well, I don't really go to Olive Garden.
Right. I haven't been to Olive Garden since I was I don't know, probably like 17 on a date. Did you ever take a girl to Olive Garden?
No, dude. I never really. I was kind of a nerd in high school, a little chubby nerd in high school. So
see,
so the only thing that really brought me out of my shell was smoking shit tons of weed, and I didn't really have dates until I had I was a late bloomer too. So I didn't really kiss girls. Girls would just come up and kiss me because they fell in love with me, but I was like, but it never really happened until I got really wasted. So they just come up and kind of attack me, and then
you had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and you're kissing, and your teeth clash and shit like that. So I didn't do that, but the girlfriend that I did had was totally into fucking, the Texas Roadhouse and going to fucking fast food shit. So
yeah. No, I mean that's funny.
But not olive garden.
It's too bad because I'm like, I don't know. I guess I have sort of like an opposite thing. Like I had gnarly abs and stuff. Like I was so fucking fit in high school, especially towards like junior year
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
When it counts.
I don't know. I mean, look where it ended up, how that ended up. But I do remember going on like dates to Olive Garden and thinking like, and of course you're on a
Budget.
like, yeah, you're on a 16, 17-year-old
You're on an allowance budget.
Well, no, like I had a job and worked at Dion's or whatever, So,
Dude, Dion's was a bomb-ass job to have in fucking high school.
I mean,
they paid like what, $8 an hour or something like that.
No,
Plus, like,
I think I made like $7.55 or something like that.
I knew that
they
They paid more than minimum wage. Though.
They did. Yeah, because I think at the time minimum wage was like $5.50. So yeah, that was really shit.
Fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, and the best thing about Dion's to me was like working with so many
bitches.
Yeah, like slutty girls. I mean, of course.
And there was always the like 35-year-old guy that would pull out for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh dude. So one of the managers that I worked with, he was fucking. He was a really cool dude, and he was like doing engineering at UNM and stuff. But he was like undercover shady.
Mm-hmm.
He had, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but he so we started like kind of hanging out because we would do like we'd open up in the morning, so I'd have to get there at fucking like 6 a.m. on a weekend and fucking do all this stupid shit. Come in just
for a long night of partying.
Yeah, not at that time,
Okay.
I was just starting to get into the partying thing because I was finally like had my own money, had a vehicle, could get away from my parents, so like things were starting to happen socially for me. Well, I started hanging out with this guy like outside of work occasionally, and he was older. He's I think like 23 or something at the time, and he had like an apartment. He's like the manager, and he had like an apartment nearby and stuff. So we'd go after work. We'd go over to his place, and we'd smoke out, and we'd get drunk and just fucking hang out. And he had all kinds of like friends. They'd always come over, and all these cousins, all these girls would come over, and hey, what's up, And he was a little bit sketchy though. So one day we're sitting there and we hear just kind of like we're drinking 40s. I don't fucking know why.
It's a high school thing to do.
Yeah. So and I just hear like on the door, and I'm just like, oh fuck, what is that? And he's just like, yo, just chill. And I was like, what? And he's like, gonna go check it out, and he's like, oh fuck, and he opens it up right away. So it's like his cousins come fucking running in with buckets of fucking fried chicken and a cash register drawer. So they just fucking robbed like a fast food like chicken.
Churches or KFC.
I think it was a Churches or something. So they just bust in, and they're just like, holy shit, man, that was intense, and this and that, and, they're just like going off, and then like I'm just like this weird white kid sitting in the corner, just like.
Wait, what race was your friend?
Mexican.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so he's since passed. He committed suicide, unfortunately. So, but I won't call out his name just for
We'll pour one out for him later.
Yeah. So I'm just like sitting there on their couch, or on his couch, just like in the back of this kind of longer room, just like, this is weird. Like, what do I do in this situation? And like one of the dudes like looks at me, and he's just like, who the fuck is this? and he's just like, oh, that's my homie. He's cool. And he's like, all right. And so like he hands me some like a bucket of chicken. He's like, there you go, mate. Not mate. He didn't say mate.
Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. But I was just like, thanks. And he's just like, well, open it up, put it in the kitchen, and he's like kind of like bossing me around, like being a dick. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to take this or whatever. And I was just like,
well, because he's trying to make you partake into his illegal activities.
Well, yeah,
I think of Samuel L. Jackson.
And he's like,
this is not an option, nigga.
Yeah, but he's just also just kind of being like a dick to me.
Yeah.
Just to like, because he's like,
because he's all fucking hyped up on adrenaline.
Yeah, and I was just like, I was like, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go, and that started to get, and he's just like, and I could see like in my friend's face, he's just like, you should probably not go just now. Like that's a bad look.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll hang around a little while. So I'm hanging out, eating chicken, watching these dudes like count the money out of the drawer. I think it probably had like $200,
Yeah,
maybe.
nothing huge.
Split between like there were like 7 of them.
Yeah.
It was a posse.
Yeah.
Split in like their take each had to be like 20 or less.
Nice.
So it was pretty ridiculous. And so yeah, we would like hang out with these sketchy fools, and every now and then like they'd have a party and they're like, oh yeah, I know you, roll through. And we'd be at parties with these just like hood ass bitches, and they'd be like dancing up on you, and I'm like 16, 17, like little baby face, and these chicks are like I don't know, 25 and 30
What?
range, and they're just all, oh yeah, and like it was so weird.
Oh man. See, that's the thing. Like having a job in high school, like just exposes you to older people, and I think it makes you grow up a little bit quicker. And
Oh, for
you
sure.
start like doing all this fucking hood rat shit in your
Yeah.
case, or you just start partying. And
It's restaurants.
yeah,
Food service, like maybe not, if you work at Taco Bell or whatever, maybe. I mean, I'm sure they have like raging, like ghetto ass parties or whatever, but like working in restaurants, doing all that kind of stuff, that's where people meet. Like, I don't know.
that's where you get all your bad habits. That's where you
Yes.
start drinking. Like
Yeah, shitty jobs.
I've never hooked up with more girls than when I worked at a restaurant.
Right?
You know?
Like
And,
sometimes
I've never
I think
partied
like,
my
man,
ass
maybe I
off.
should get like a part-time job at a
Dude,
fucking
I
restaurant
kinda
serving
do,
tables so I
like-
could like have a social life and meet people again. Because like that's the thing is like I go to work and I work with the same handful of people, and
But
it's
they're
just
all
like,
so like level,
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for
because
the most
they're
part, I mean,
professionals.
yeah, and I mean, I work with some pretty cool people, but for the most part, it's just like, all right, well, I'm not meeting any like chicks here. I'm not doing it like.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just get some like
Dude,
little side
get
hustle.
a
I don't know.
part-time
I don't know
job.
when I would do that because I usually am
Just
like
do like
pretty
3
fucking
days
tired,
out of the
but
week. You just do Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
do that.
and you get like an extra like $200 or whatever. Nothing
Yeah.
major, but you get a little bit of it.
I mean, I feel like that's the hard part. Is like I probably wouldn't take a whole lot of shit because I'd just be like, well, fuck you. I don't need this money.
Yeah, so
You know,
but
because
you're there for like 6 weeks maybe, and that's enough to make some good friends.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but. Yeah, it like that's what I like about those kind of jobs is you're just always meeting people. There's a pretty high turnover rate,
Oh,
so you're
yeah.
meeting all kinds of new people. I don't know. It could be cool.
I think that's what I'm gonna do this summer. That was my plan over winter break to get a second job at a restaurant just to fuck around a little bit, and I don't know, just to make a little extra cash.
Yeah.
But who wants to work more?
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like when you're bored, you're like, oh, I should do that. But then when you have no time
Yeah.
on your hands to do anything, you're just like, fuck, what am I working this for? Whatever. I don't know.
And then you get to like have some really sweet food. That was always the best thing about working
Yeah,
at a
where you get to
restaurant.
go in the back and make it your way.
Yeah, dude,
Oh.
you're just like, all right, well, I'll start off with this recipe.
Oh man, I loved
And-
making pizzas at Dion's.
Oh god.
I would make the fucking best pizza anybody has ever seen.
Dude, I got my buddy fired from Dion.
Like it's already a good pizza, and I made it. But how'd you get him fired?
Being a dick, being a little stone dick, really. Believe it or not, I used to be a bigger asshole than I am right now. Yes. So I guess it wasn't that bad, but I was like super stoned and go over to fucking Dion's, and my buddy's still working, and I'm like, hey man, I want fucking sandwich sub. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. What size do you want? I'm like, I want a 10-inch,
The whole.
but I want you to charge me for a 5-inch. He's like, can't do that. Just do it, man. Just fucking do it. And when you like talk to like some kid, when he's like 17 years old, 16 years old, he's not gonna really say no if you're just that stern about it.
Yeah.
So he did it, and then like he's like looking over his shoulders, looking all sketchy because he got scared.
Yeah.
My friend was kind of nerdy. And I think his manager, his supervisor, was
Saw him
there.
acting weird.
Yeah, he's acting kind of sketchy. So after I got my sandwich, he went through the register and checked through the receipts, and they automatically consider that stealing. So, like, as I'm eating my sandwich, he's like, "You're fired," and I'm like, "Oh man,
That sucks.
sorry, buddy."
Dude, what a dick.
I know, and I'm like eating my sandwich, and I'm like overhearing this conversation.
You're such an asshole, dude.
I'm like fucking mid. Oh man, I'm sad now.
Maybe it's all coming together for you. You're like,
Where?
oh my god.
Oh.
That's her. You know, I've always hated the thing. This is such like a local stupid thing, but I always hated the whole fucking 6-inch or 10-inch. It's like make it
double or nothing.
yeah, just make it. I mean, I know it's because like when they have
Those are the bread sizes, dude.
it's a 16-inch long piece of bread.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like a lot of times we'd end up like having a whole shitload of, you know, one order or the other. So then you have like all these little ends or all the big ends left, and you're just like, God damn it.
Well, because you need to sell in a way that it's enticing to get like the bigger order. You know, you can't just sell like, well, you get an 8-inch for like $3 or a 16-inch for $6.
Right.
So like, all right, well, you could get an 8-inch for, 6-inch for like $5 or a 10-inch for like $6. You know, so it's like,
I don't know. It's just like, you know, get your bread. I don't know. Get your bread right. Either get, figure it out.
It goes back to using the metric system.
Right? Root 10. Come on.
Root 10?
Let's get root 10 on everything. Base
Okay.
10.
Base
Whatever.
10. Yeah.
Whatever. Root base. I'm not a math person, okay?
Yeah, you really threw me off there.
No, I piss off like everybody I work with so much because I'll, like I can generally hang with the concept, but all my nomenclature is like fucked up, so they're all on the same page mathematically, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just like, and they're just like looking at me like
Wah, wah.
like so bugged.
Seagulls? I mean geese?
Yeah, they don't care for it all that much at all. But then it'll come to some issue where there's like a drafting convention or something like that, where they'll give me a drawing that they,
Orthographic, bro.
Yeah, well,
fuck?
it'll be like something that they sketched, and they'll be like, "Can you model this and make it better?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then I'll do it, and then I'll find that. So they'll do stuff where it's kind of like they're drafting, where they'll draw it, and then they have the multiple drawings, so it'd be like a plan view essentially, or like a top view, then like a side view and a bottom view, and then they draw like a line straight down the middle, like a dashed line, so it's like saying, okay, these are all together.
Connected,
but what that means to me is that it's rotating, so it's like you have your top view, and then you have your side view, and then your bottom view. But what they've done is they've drawn it like a bottom, as in like it flipped left and right.
Okay,
Where,
like a
but
mirrored, or?
Yeah, but
Okay.
the way they've drawn it is essentially like, and especially with the with the dashed line down the middle, that would imply that it's just like rotated. So like you were holding it in front of you and you just flipped it upside down without turning it. So it's upside down. So then I'm like designing all this shit, putting it together, drafting it, and then they're like, why is it upside down? Like, this is messed up. And I'm like, it's like the drawing you gave me. That's what I had to go on. And they're all confused, and then, so I'm explaining to them like drafting conventions that
This
they're
is a
using.
language.
Yeah, well, and I have to feel like it's the exact same thing. It's like I speak a certain language, or I have a language that they kind of understand, and they're trying to like fake it, sort of. They're like, yeah, it's like that. That I've seen that before, so I'll do it like that. That's how it is for me with math. It's like I've kind of seen it before, but you make those errors that to you.
So do you know what kind of math they're doing out there? Or?
Oh, all kinds.
All kinds.
High level.
High level.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. They do a lot of stuff. I love math. I mean,
Meth.
no, just kidding.
Did you get naked? Did you get naked?
Who said that?
I don't know.
Where's your pocket pretender?
Why pocket pretender?
I don't know
God
why.
Damn it.
I don't know.
I get drunk and then
Where's your pocket pretender?
It starts happening.
I think I have like a short circuit
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
and it's funny too because it's such a clean drop of just like
Where's your pocket pretender?
it's so clear, like, and whereas the other one I had to pull it out
Yeah.
from
Did you get naked?
I had to pull it out and amplify it and like do some stuff to make it
Sure.
work.
So
so you
I know
really said Pocket Pretender
I
with
know.
with like confidence.
God. So I know this podcast has been all over the place, and it's going to continue to go all over the place.
Sure.
But my excuse is that I was a C-section baby, and I wasn't coming out correctly. So I was in the womb for too long, and when they finally pulled me out, like I was all blue because I wasn't getting enough. Well, maybe not blue, but I wasn't getting enough oxygen.
Uh-huh.
So I had to be like in an incubator for a couple days, and I don't know if I was really breathing on my own. So I'd like to think that I got a lot of brain damage there. I wasn't getting enough oxygen, so
Maybe.
so I kind of fucked myself up. But I also like to think, what if I was born properly? How much smarter would I have been? Like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what
yeah.
if you were just the same though?
Oh fuck. Well,
I mean,
but at least these little defects that I have, I say shit weirdly, and
I mean,
sometimes I stutter.
I mean,
whatever.
everybody fucks up.
Hey,
with
this is
things
my
they say.
excuse. God damn it!
No,
Where's your pocket pretender?
here's the thing though: is everybody fucks up in things they say.
I guess.
They just don't necessarily have somebody recording it.
And this adds to the legitimacy of our podcast, and how we're really thinking on our toes. I
Yeah.
suppose, but.
Possibly. Anyway. I don't know. I just really like. I wish I had more excuses to push the buttons.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Like more reasons.
I think we need to maybe sample through them before we start, and then try to set each other up or something.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that because I don't think we should steer our conversations for the sake of buttons. It's too AM or FM radio. I don't.
I think you mean morning show.
Yeah.
By AM.
Yeah, FM. Yeah.
See, you did it too.
See, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, great.
Everybody fucks up.
Great.
Anyway.
I got hit on by 5 guys at FX last night.
Is FX? That's that gay one, right?
Yeah, it's the gay one.
I remember we walked in there for some reason to go see it or something. I was pretty drunk. What did we go in there for? I
I
know
don't remember.
because we just walked in, looked around, and it was empty, and we left.
Yeah, it was probably one of the nights when it wasn't really hopping. Dude, I had a little bit of an experience last night. It was a good time. I wasn't really
What
planning.
kind of experience?
Did you get... Oh, God, I wish. So,
It just keeps on going.
it was great because,
Oh my gosh!
yeah, I hope, God, dude, I wish, fuck. Anyway. Lay off the button, Steve.
All right,
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
I'll let you tell your story now.
So it was pretty serendipitous, which I think makes it even better. I wasn't really planning on doing anything because on Friday night I went to that show and danced my ass off with this beautiful girl with a mohawk. Oh God, I fell in love with her. Anyway, so it was 6 o'clock. I go to the gym. Excuse me. I get out at 8. I'm not really planning on doing anything. But my buddy sends me, I guess, an Evite.
Naked photo?
Naked photo? Did you get naked? An invite on Facebook for his wife's 25th birthday. I've known her for a while, and I'd like to think that I introduced the two of them, but now they're married. So
Oh.
I'm a little matchmaker. Yes, I am. Anyway, he's like, yeah, bro, it's my wife's 25th birthday. We're getting a limo.
You're I know I introduced you to.
Duh, bro. I've known her longer than you have.
Right? We kind of have a deeper connection.
And he had a room at the DoubleTree. He had a stretched Hummer. And my other buddy's like, hey, man, I'm going over there. I'm going to go pick you up, and then we're going over there. I'm like, well, I don't really feel like... He's like, nope, we're doing it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Comes over and picks me up. We head over to the DoubleTree. Well, before we pick up a bottle of vodka. It was a girl's birthday. Girls like vodka.
Do they?
Apparently.
I've
Because there was, cucumber vodka. Dude, cucumber vodka is pretty fucking delicious. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I prefer to add the cucumber myself. So, get a little sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
Add your vodka, some cucumber.
That's nice. That's a good...
Maybe a bit of...
That's not too girly of a drink. It's still, I think, a little bit of a manly drink,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty simple. I think it's actually just
Yeah.
kind of elegant. If you
Yeah.
were to be... you can't order that and get it at most bars, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to kind of be at a nice place if you're going to get that, and it'll be good.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of
some
places-
quality vodka too, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of places don't even really serve like
Cucumber.
most places aren't going to have cucumber, but
Yeah.
you know, if you don't go to like at least a decent enough bar, like they're not going to have sparkling water.
No, for sure.
They don't have Perrier under there.
Fuckers. Anyway, I go up to the DoubleTree and we meet up. They're all getting ready and just fucking beautiful girls everywhere too. They're all wearing their little like fancy little tight dresses. And
And what
shit
did you
like that.
wear?
I wasn't really
T-shirt?
T-shirt, leather jacket. Dude, if you can't talk to women in T-shirt and jeans, then how
Well,
can you
but
talk
here's
with them
the
in
thing,
a fucking
though.
suit, all right?
Right, but here's the thing though. If they're dressed up, they're going to be looking for somebody dressed up. Make the occasion, you know, you want to
Yeah,
meet them halfway
but
because
this is part of the
they're trying to have a
whole
fancy outing,
experience,
and
yeah.
if you're not fancy, you get dropped like a bad habit.
Well, that's why you don't rely on the clothing, but the clothing does help. I think it's all about the style.
Did you get naked?
Yes, I wish. Anyway, but you know these beautiful girls are fun to talk to. So we're riding around this. I didn't ride in the stretch hit limo because I went with my buddy, unfortunately. But we're having a good time at Imbibe, and fucking my buddy's a pharmacist, so he just fucking buys drinks after drinks after drinks after drinks, buying lots of champagne and shit like that. So I'm just kind of like riding along and having a good time.
Sure.
And then from there, the party goes to FX. And since I wasn't riding in the limo, I was riding with my buddy. We get there before everyone else does, so we're just kind of doing our thing, ordering drinks, and just kind of exploring. But for some reason, it's like super gay night at FX. It is a gay bar, but you know, usually it's kind of like a you know,
It's a
60-40.
kind of
Yeah,
place.
exactly. There's
like,
good
so
music
there's a lot
playing.
of girls there a lot of times.
There's
so
a lot
it
of girls
kind
playing.
Isn't necessarily always gay.
Exactly. And the upstairs lounge is kind of designer. It's designed, you know, so it's a little bit more classy. The downstairs dance floor is just like raw concrete with like 2 bars on each side and then DJ. So it's pretty much like pure I want to butt fuck you style. So it's the gay one. But, you know, I'm just there having a good time, and then these gay guys just come up and like put their hands on my shoulder and try to get me to turn around, and then I look and like, nope. And they're like, oh, what's wrong? And like they want to like fucking call me out, and I'm like, nope, not paying attention to you.
Couldn't
Not-
you just, you know, turn and say, hey, I don't want to, you know, lead you on just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm.
Well,
a
put yourself
homosexual.
in this context. You know, there's loud music playing, there's gay guys everywhere, and you're dancing there. What's that gonna give? What kind of impression does everyone else have?
I don't know. I mean, I've accidentally ended up in gay bars and stuff, and you know, it was always like people came up and they were very polite and they, you know, offer you a drink or something, and then you just kind of like, oh no, I'm actually just here to use the restroom, and then they're like, really? And then you're like, no, but like seriously, I'm out of here now.
Seriously,
I
fuck off.
just peed.
Well, Steve, about 90% of the attention that I get is male attention.
Yeah, I've noticed that. You get a lot of, I don't know, maybe there's something about you that screams, you know, love me manly.
I don't know, man. Like I get a little upset about it sometimes, but like you know,
Why?
You know,
I
they
mean-
say some publicity is better than no publicity.
Well, the way I
So-
think of it is like,
Some
you know, a
attention.
compliment is a compliment.
Yeah, dude, but like,
You know, if a guy is attracted to you, I can only, and you know, if a gay man is attracted to you, I can only assume that a straight woman would be attracted to me.
sure, but
I mean, I know there's intricacies there, and
Mhm.
you know, people are into
well,
different
there's
things.
workarounds.
But
But I think whereas men function on a level where physical is a larger factor in being attracted to someone,
Right.
whereas women, it's more of like how you talk to them and how you convey yourself,
right.
as we talked about in podcast 2. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. guys.
Well, it was an appropriate drop for once. No,
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
Um,
there's a completely different component. So at least you're physically attractive.
I don't know.
So
Well,
that opens the door to being mentally
I-
attractive,
I suppose.
maybe.
But you know, I just don't want that.
I don't know.
If I was gay, it would have been perfect. But
I think
I
I
mean-
would be, I don't know. I haven't been hit on many times by men, but every time I've always felt a little special.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it takes guts to go up to somebody at all and just say, lay it out on the line.
Oh, most
And then
definitely
to,
does. And I respect that.
so, if anybody, women don't typically hardly ever come up to you and say, hey,
It's not their job, and they shouldn't be.
well, I don't know. I think that's fine. I wouldn't be put off by that, but
Neither
it just
would
doesn't
I.
really happen. I mean, it's happened a couple times,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I always feel, I don't know. Maybe because it's just rare occurrence, but anytime somebody just volunteers that they're into you, that I always think is nice. I can ride on that even if I'm not into that person,
Yeah.
be it because they're, I'm just not
It is
attracted to
compliment.
them or they're like a dude or whatever. I still feel good about it.
Yeah. And one thing is, it's been a learning experience where when I get hit on by guys and they do it in an unpleasant way, I know not to do that to women that I'm attracted
Can
to.
you give me an example?
Yeah. Like I was just saying, being on the dance floor and just grabbing someone by the shoulder and forcing them to turn around and looking at you.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Men are
You don't
aggressive
grab people.
creatures.
No,
and
it's true.
whereas gay guys are totally into that shit because, they're fucking kind of dirty.
Well, they're guys, you
Yeah.
know? And the thing is they're guys doing things, because if you were if a girl did that to you, you thought she was attractive, it'd be like game on.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Most
they're
definitely.
they're just playing,
Yeah.
they just kind of have it easier in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a smaller pool to choose from, which it's got to be difficult.
But
But
that pool gets passed around and ugh,
yeah, I mean, there's problems with that.
Yeah.
But
AIDS.
yep. But
So that's funny that. But
yeah,
this.
no, aggressiveness can totally blow it. Did I tell you what happened to me on New Year's?
Besides you being sick and spreading your disease.
Yeah, well, that was part of it.
Okay.
And it's not a disease.
Did you get
'cause
naked?
Huh?
Did you get naked?
No, unfortunately. No, so I was feeling kind of sick at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like towards the end of the, well, I felt good, and then towards the end of the day, I started to feel really shitty, and I was just like, oh god, like I'm dying here.
Mm-hmm.
I started to feel a little hot. I was like, I just need a nap or something. So I go home, and I'm gonna go out to that show. I was gonna probably call it in, and I know you called it in because you weren't feeling too good. I was probably worse off, but I had already bought, bought my ticket at lunch and started feeling bad after
as soon
that.
as
Like,
you hit purchase.
basically, yeah, it was like, and I started feeling kind of shitty, and our friend was putting on some of the AV stuff. Like, I
Wait,
really
how
wanted
was
to go.
that?
I thought it was awesome,
Did he-
but
yeah, he's talented.
but
man.
let me tell you here, I'm not exactly a great guide because of you'll understand it at the story. So I take a nap. I'm at home. I take a nap. I wake up feeling even shittier. I'm just like, oh god, I'm really dying. But I had already got my tickets.
And they were like
Or-
$30 tickets
yeah,
too,
yeah.
right?
And I reserved a cab.
Yeah.
Because it's New Year's and I didn't want to have to wait, so I reserved it early. And of course, then I'm like, I could probably call and cancel, but I don't know. Like, I'm committed.
Yeah.
So I take a shower, get all fresh clothes on, and I leave, and I'm starting to feel like I'm running a temperature. So before I leave, I slam a whole bunch of Robitussin. The good stuff.
Get a nice little buzz going.
A little bit. Oh, and a shot of whiskey. So then I leave the house, get the ride down there, and I'm feeling pretty good. I have a beer when I get there, and it's pretty dead. So I got there around 10 o'clock, and things didn't really start happening until like 11:30-ish, and then it went on until like 2.
All right.
So I'm there, and I'm just kind of chilling. I get another drink. I talk to a couple people that I've known for a long time. I keep like running into people I know and just talking to them. Around just after midnight, like I realized now too, like I didn't even really notice when midnight happened. I don't know if they made a big like countdown or anything like that, but I'm starting to kind of lose my mind. I'm
Mixture of Robitussin and alcohol.
Robitussin, alcohol, and a fever. So I'm like, I'm burning up, but I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm just out. It's hot in here.
Mhm.
I'm not really thinking it through because again, I'm kind of sick. My mind is like stopped working a little bit,
Yeah.
and all these things are coming together. I'm at the bar getting my second drink, and this girl comes up to me and starts talking to me and says, I don't know, I can't really remember exactly what, but she's like, oh, my friend, she missed her, do you get this? I get this a lot. I think
So she approached you.
well, I think I'm a little bit intimidating, but so like this happens to me a lot is where girls will be, some girl will be like kind of into me and she'll talk to her friends and then one of her friends is like, well, I'll go talk to him for you or whatever. And it's very like young kind of,
Okay.
but I still get this from women my age.
Okay.
Anyway, I go over to her after they're like, oh, our friend wants to talk to you. I'm like,
Okay.
whatever. So I go over there and she's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. My name is this and that. I can't remember now because again, I'm bad with names anyway, but
Mhm.
she tells me I'm sad because I didn't get my New Year's kiss or whatever, my midnight kiss. And I was just like, oh yeah. Well, then I just like kind of just give her like kissy lips and
Mhm.
just touch, my lower lip.
Perfect. Perfect.
And then so she kisses me
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, and we start kind of chatting and I've only had the one Robitussin, the 2 beers, well,
Plus the
one and a
whiskey.
half, and the whiskey. Well, I'm halfway through one of the beers. So, which isn't that much, and I ate, so like I should be good,
Mhm.
but I can feel myself feeling a little crazy, and I'm thinking like, well, it's just hot in here, but like I just, I really
You're
wanted to
feeling
dance.
the vibe. You got
Yeah.
the girl attention.
No, and I love,
They're
and
animated.
I hate dancing
Yeah.
except to electronic music. Like I go bananas. I love it.
Fuck yeah.
So, and I'm like down there, I got some new clothes on and stuff. Like I'm feeling good. She's into me, so I'm like into that. She's got a leopard print tattoo on her shoulder. That's all I can really remember. I don't even really remember what she looks like because I realized
You're
at this
fucked
part,
up.
yeah,
Sick.
at this part, yeah. So we go out and she's like, we should, no, she says something about dancing, and I'm like, let's go dance.
Mhm.
Like, I was not the aggressor, but
You're
I
leading
was
the situation.
I was pushing for the dancing, which usually for me it's the exact opposite.
But
Like
that's how
some
it
girl
should
is
be,
like,
you know?
"Hey, you should come dance," and I'm like, "Fuck it, okay." Usually I don't like to dance, but I'm just like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we're like dancing, and it starts off normal, like I'm just cutting a rug, showing what's up. And and she's like dancing, and she starts like kind of like rubbing her butt on me and stuff, and we dance for a little bit. I start kind of like feeling like kind of like ooh, like light and like I'm just kind of going with it. And the song like stops and like the set goes to change over to like the next
DJ or
DJ
whatever.
or whatever. So we go back to the bar. I finish my drink and she buys me another,
Mhm.
and I'm like cool. So I get a drink. I offer to buy her one and she's like already like double fisting. So I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Steve likes the classy ladies.
Well, she wasn't like actually double fisting, but she had
2 drinks.
she had finished one and just gotten another when
Okay.
she ordered.
Okay.
And I was like last getting to the bar, like her friends were already there ordering, whatever. Anyway, so we start drinking that one. The next DJ comes up, starts playing, and she's like, "You want to dance some more?" And I'm like, "Yes, let's go dance more." And I slam the rest of the drink, and we're dancing for maybe like 5 minutes or so. And then I can remember now losing my fucking mind. So like at this point, she's rubbing her butt on me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I start reaching, like just touching like the outside of her legs, like getting real like close
Nothing
and
wrong
stuff.
with that. Nothing wrong
No,
with that.
but it gets wrong real fast. Like I don't know where
Did
the
you go
fuck
in her pants? Did you just...
Yeah, no, I didn't go inner pants, but I started like touching like her inner thigh and stuff, and just being like so creepy, like like now like looking back on it, I mean this is something I would never do, not even drunk, and it's just like I think I creeped her out because she just bailed. It was like she was like hitting the gas all night, like totally instigating everything, and then I just like went way too far.
Yeah.
This is the whole point of it, is it goes back to what you were saying earlier. I know like that took forever to get there,
That's
but
fine.
you know, if you are too aggressive with ladies or whatever, or you in this case, you'll
damn
turn you'll turn them away, because in that situation, I don't know, maybe you were the
Well,
lady in that situation.
Man,
You got to treat a
don't
lady
tell me
right.
that shit. But I think it's all a measure of calibrating, you know? Maybe this is another podcast topic, but it's the art of creating interest, you know? But as in...
Well, see, we did talk about creating interest in the last one.
That's true, yeah, and selling
but-
yourself and portraying yourself.
Yeah, but in this case, that, hey, look at this, the grab you, that doesn't work.
Well,
you have to play the
it could
long
work.
game.
What if it worked, you know?
I mean,
If it worked,
Okay.
then you would have been having
well,
some
but the thing is
freaky
I
ass
feel
sex that
right,
night.
but I feel that's true, and I mean, I've probably done creepier things in my life that have worked out, but I would bet that if I did that, say every Friday night, I was super aggressive with women, I would bet that if I played those odds, eventually it would pay off. It'd probably
Dude,
pay
it's
off
a
more
numbers
often.
game.
Yeah,
It's a
it
numbers
would
game.
pay off more often than if I just kind of like did what I usually do, which is just kind of be me. And if somebody comes up and talks to me, and
Oh,
then we
don't say
start
that.
off
Don't say that.
what do you mean?
Don't say that just being you is unsuccessful.
No. What I'm saying is how I would meet. Like, I don't actively go after people or anything. So what I do is I just hang out, and if I start talking to somebody and we hit it off, then good.
It builds up. Yeah.
Right. But so I'm just being me in the sense that like I'm not actively seeking anything.
No,
out. I'm
because you
just
need
chilling.
to lead the interaction to the next step, based on what you want.
Right.
And based on how responsive they are, then, you go to the next stage.
Yeah, I'm just typically not that aggressive,
Mhm.
but it's always easier, of course, when it's like New Year's Eve, because everybody's just like, oh my god, like when people
start all over again.
well, and people put emphasis on certain evenings, and they're on the prowl, and I guess in a way I am too, but usually it's just kind of like I wait for an opportunity, and when it comes up, I take advantage of it. Or, this thing keeps turning off. Otherwise, or how about?
I was going more for the cougar. Yeah.
I know what you were going for. And
All
I
right,
was trying
all
to be
right.
difficult.
So there's a really great quote or statement that the person in podcast 2 told me once.
What?
Remember the person in podcast 2? Yeah,
That one?
yeah. She's like, Mark, you're gay. You just have sex with girls. I'm like, nah.
Wait, you're gay. You have sex with girls.
Yeah, it's a...
So she was calling you a girl? Because otherwise, that's not really gay. I don't know.
She's not a guy.
What's
She's
her
a girl.
logic?
Her logic is that I come across and talk like a gay guy. I don't know if it's... I'm like as aggressive and as... but vulnerable at the same time. And maybe I get a little emotional at times when I'm with someone that I care about, but I just have sex with women.
Sure.
That's why her statement doesn't make sense.
Right.
But
But she's,
I'm
was she trying to
I'm-
insult you?
oh,
or-
most definitely. But I like to come across as being super playful, maybe a little inappropriate at many times, and I think sometimes I have mannerisms that could be considered as metro. Is that still a thing, metro?
I don't know. I think
Like my dad talks shit about to me because I kind of fold my legs and cross my legs in a little bit tighter manner, and that's no indication of what's going on downstairs anyway. But I like to think that I have taste. I still consider myself a designer, so I like to have good art around me, and I have good taste, and I have no problem with drinking wine.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and I definitely could be, but isn't there, I mean, Mexican dudes are full of machismo. You know, like
Dude,
you
machismo
got.
is totally like that.
You have
know?
to have
And,
to be that way. So
you have to be that way.
So he's probably like looking at you, just like, oh, my son isn't. You know, he could be manlier if he just acted whatever way or something like that.
Well, like even I think of like Mexican prisoners. You know, they're very manly and shit, but they'll like butt fuck the shit out of like their.
Well, but they're not gay. The guy is gay for taking it.
Exactly. You know, it's weird. No, Mexican culture and Spanish culture is a little strange.
Yeah.
But I'm just not attracted to men. You know, that's why I'm not gay.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I think usually when people put a lot of emphasis on that, it's just kind of coming out of a hateful place.
Most
anyway,
definitely.
So I always just try
And,
to ignore that.
You know, I think human sexuality has evolved to a place where, you know, there's so many different flavors out there that you just kind of go with it. You know, there's
Yeah.
no more labels of being, well, you're this, you're gay, you're gay, you're lesbian, you're dyke, you're, you know, trans.
Yeah, and I
whatever.
think all that kind
We're
of
just
stuff.
human, you
Right.
know?
All that stuff kind of matters less when you really think about it and understand it. Because I mean, I definitely, especially, and not even that long ago, was definitely a person who was just always like, oh, that's gay. Everything's, you know, everything that was lame to me
Yeah.
was gay. You know, I always threw that out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't really mean that, and who cares? But, you know, I did more thinking about it and just thought, like, well, why do I have to do that?
And I was the same way, but I started having or being exposed to more people that are more guys that are gay, and you know they're some of the nicest people that I know.
Sure. Well,
a
and
lot
I
of
mean,
times they're kind of like dramatic,
sure.
you know, but they're super nice, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I just kind of, you know, was just going with what I knew and what
Yeah.
I thought was acceptable, and then I just kind of decided for myself that, you know, these other voices are right. I shouldn't be hateful in that way, and even though I don't mean it in a hateful way, it could be construed as that. So it is hate, you know.
Yeah,
It is
and there's no need to joke like that, you know.
right.
Like, I guess I'll get drunk and like, hey man, stop being a fag, you know. But
Right.
I by no means mean it in a derogatory way, and you know, whoever you want to love is totally up to you, man, and more power to you.
Sure.
So, whatever's your flavor, whether it be man, woman, McDonald's, or Filiberto's.
I think that was a beautiful sentiment. Do you want to end this one on that?
Where we at?
We're at like an hour.
Oh, man, we're just
Burning through.
burning
through.
Hey, people, thanks for listening, and you guys are beautiful.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Should we give them something to think about for the week?
I don't know. Eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables. Make some good decisions when it comes to your diet.
Yeah, I think
Because-
we could all do that,
yeah.
especially after tonight.
Yeah.
I've eaten too much.
And respect and love your body.
Yeah, be good to one another.
Yeah, dude.
Too.
Fuck yeah.
Not just yourself, but to everybody. Encourage somebody you care about.
All right, so yeah, just be good to one another. Love each other. And just tell someone that you look really nice today. Or, I like your hair. That's a nice shirt.
What if we just said, you know, and maybe I'll do this. Find somebody who's a stranger and say, you know what? You have really great bone structure.
Totally.
You know, give them, you know,
even the person
give
like
them a
serving your
legit
coffee.
Yeah,
you know?
but give them a legit compliment and then just, you know, really put that out there and then just see what comes back your way.
Exactly, because you know it snowballs.
I mean, yeah, don't fake it.
and don't sound creepy
You know,
about
yeah,
it. Just
find,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Find
like,
a really
this is random and all.
find
but,
a good safe moment
yeah.
sometime and just, you know, say it in passing. Just, hey, you have really great bone structure.
Or yeah.
Or whatever,
Whatever's
just-
your compliment.
You
for
have
sure.
beautiful eyes.
Definitely.
You have a great personality. Reminds me of me. You know?
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could say all of those things and then just say, you know, and that's what we have in common.
And
you know.
you don't know if that'll lead to something new.
Who knows?
But that's our closing thoughts for this
Yeah.
this podcast.
Be excellent to each other.
Most definitely. Oh yeah, it's time to say goodbye tonight. Yeah.
And then the podcast ends it now.